chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You need to hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Well, yes, we have made it. Welcome, one and all. Good evening, good night, good morning, even to some of you. And welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Yes, we're voices of the island's conversation for the world. And the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration continues to take center stage. I am your host, Sabrina, and it's good to be back with you. Yes, we have made it. And oh, the sound of rain. I've never, ever so much appreciated it. It has been really hot, even though it's going to get even more humid. And yes, those buggers of frogs and whatever else not will come a-crawling out, but that's okay. I'm quite sure everybody is welcoming of the rain. If you were fortunate enough to be a part of the island that got that are probably getting rain right now, right here in Prospect. I know we're getting some, about three tranches. Yeah, good showers. Get rid of all of that dust. Yuck. But yeah, I am so happy that we have made it. Thank God we are here as we go into another episode of Sabrina Speaks in this Free Flow Friday, despite it still being open mic. Summer edition continues here. Yes, and guess what? I want to bring something to your awareness in this episode, despite it being open mic, because I just got to be prepared. But the phone lines will continue to be open, of course, and should we have to change and adjust our sales accordingly, I am more than happy to accommodate you. But what I'm talking about, or want to bring up in this episode of Sabrina Speaks here this evening, is something that is really happening quietly, and I can almost say consistently as well, and it's happening globally. Yeah. And eventually it's going to be here if it is not already here. Subtle. What I'm talking about is the world that's going cashless. But what does that really mean for us here at home? For our daily lives, for our spending, our privacy, and even our future. So this evening, of course, it's Free Flow Friday. Open mic summer edition continues. I want to bring your awareness because these things look very, very much like what we are accustomed to. And what I'm talking about, I want to break down and share with you some machines that are called reverse ATMs. Have you heard about them? Let me know if you've heard about them. Comment below. But yeah, I want to break it down, reverse ATMs, and the push towards digital money, and whether this shift is truly about efficiency or control. Now, my aim is always, as Corpse, to be as unbiased, informative, and evidence-based as I can here on these episodes. But I thought it was very interesting because I came across an article last night, and it's amazing the comments that is actually surrounding these reverse ATMs. So yes, on this Free Flow Friday, it means we talk, we laugh, we share. But yeah, I want to bring this to your awareness because is it already here? Are you feeling the pressure that, eventually knowing and feeling and hearing the sound of a $25 note, if you can tell the last time you held a $25 note. But you know what? I'm going to break it down as best as I can, making sure we can understand exactly the transition that is happening and, of course, what's changing around us. So I want to hear from you. Yes, call in, share your thoughts, and be a part of the conversation. And you can do that if you need the number. Here it is. 345-936-8255 is the number to be a part of the discussion this evening. And as always, the summer edition is proudly sponsored by Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting. Appointments only for professional guidance. Yes, 345-938-1337. Book your consult today, or you can send them a WhatsApp to see what space is available, and they'll be more than happy to help you and be that bridge that moves you confidently into your next chapter. But of course, the phone lines will be open, and whatever you're streaming us live on is always here. But please be reminded that the views expressed by callers, guests, and online commenters are their own, not the host, not those of Bridge Media Limited, its affiliates, the Sabrina Speaks Show, or the host. This program is for general information only and not a substitute for legal, medical, financial, or professional advice. Now, please be reminded that all participants are reminded to speak responsibly and respectfully. Any content that is defamatory, discriminatory, unlawful, or harmful is strictly prohibited and will not be endorsed or tolerated. Now, listener, caller, commenter participation implies acceptance to this disclaimer. Please continue to like, follow, and share our page with your friends and family so that you're always notified, number one, and number two, most importantly, you're never missing an episode of Sabrina Speaks, whether or not you join us midway through our conversations and discussions, or you just look for us after the fact, because we're always there and we're also on YouTube as we continue here to build this platform one episode at a time. Yes, it's Friday. I'm showing a little shoulder this evening. Yeah, going out to kick up a leg or three. I got two legs. But you know how we do it here on the Sabrina Speaks show on Fridays. We try to, of course, just be a little bit more happy. We jab and poke and make jokes with each other here. And of course, all respectful. And today I was having, again, a little bit of fun on my social media platforms. And I went back as far as 10 years ago. And yeah, those were the days of wet fets and powder fets. And if you've seen it, if you're on the Sabrina Turner community activist page, you would have seen that post. I just felt a little nostalgic moment. I'll share that with you later on. But let's get over the forecast. If you're wondering what's in the weather forecast for tonight and into the weekend, and then we'll go with the news, and that's not only local, but regional and international as well. Then we'll share those content creators in bloom, some beautiful pictures coming out here this evening. And we'll definitely do general birthday shout outs, anniversary shout outs as well this evening as we say goodbye to this week here in August, and almost feeling as though our adrenaline amounts are raising because, it's coming down to that time where you're packing up last if you're still off island on summer vacation and you're getting ready to come home because school is going to kick back in next week. And I know some of you are dreading the traffic. Yeah, a lot of you are dreading that. Some as early as this week. And we know the teachers are gearing up. The classrooms are definitely putting those personalized touches. Yeah, so some of the kids are excited. Some are like nervous. Some will be going in for the first time. Yeah, some will be leaving primary and going to junior high and high. OMG. And there are probably going to be a lot of parents as well that are very teary-eyed and seeing their loved ones, their young babies now, going off to college or university, probably doing it in a different country for the first time. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. But I can tell you what. Let me tell you what, if you're one of those parents, it's going to break your heart if it's the first time. But you see, Christmas, this is one Christmas, you're either going to find yourself there, wherever they are, or they're coming back home. You see, by Easter, it's still going to be the same. And you're going to cry like a baby in the new year. By Easter, You're either going to find yourself there or they're going to come back home. And then each time they go away and you see that responsible behavior, you see them taking care of themselves, they're settling in, they have adjusted. You too will also be at ease. But there's always something that you get a little teary eyed. Yeah, especially if this is the first time. But I can tell you, it does get easier. So for all of those, and it goes both ways for the kids, they adjust much quicker because you go home and you're accustomed to pick up this. Why are the dishes still in the sink? Oh, for God's sake, don't leave the fridge door open. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, I'm missing that. I'm quite sure there are lots of stories that a lot of you can share. But yeah, they're growing up. They're growing up. And it's the same with those first day back at school. I'm hoping to see some of those pictures that are going to be shared for those first timers going to school, starting grade 1. And all the beautiful pictures that you guys will be sharing on social media. Oh my goodness. I'm excited for all of you. Once was there, no longer there. My 2 kids are grown. They're adults, no grandbabies, just 2 dogs. And yeah, one comes to work with me every evening, misbehaves every now and again. But yeah, nieces and nephews, a few, but yeah, cousins. I just love seeing exactly what you guys share with us on social media. That is the good part. But you know what? I can blabber on, and that's why I make my money based on talking. Gonna get to all of you. Please continue to share the live and let your friends know we are here. We're here until 7 this evening. And yes, I'm gonna skedaddle out of here because it's Friday. Why not rock the weekend how we normally do it? And it's not for show. Anyone knows me know I like to shake a leg. I like to shake a leg. You know what? Let's see what's happening with the weather. Here, compliments of our friends there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The synopsis for this evening is calling for a weak tropical wave that is affecting the area. Expect partly cloudy skies with occasional showers. There is a low chance of thunder. Now, moisture associated with the wave can linger into Saturday. Now, gentle winds and moderate gusts can be expected as the pressure gradient slackens across the northern Caribbean. Now, seas will remain slight to moderate. The forecast is calling for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall near to the low 80s. Winds will be east to northeast, 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tomorrow's forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of early morning showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise near the low 90s with a heat index of 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, winds will be east to northeast, 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. There will be a high tide this evening at 6:56, a low tide at 1:10 a.m., and another high at 5:57 tomorrow morning. Sun will set this evening at 6:47, and sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:07. The outlook is calling for a decrease in chance of showers through Sunday as the tropical wave moves away from the Western Caribbean. However, overnight showers are possible as moisture drifts off Cuba and into the Cayman area. So if you love those pitter-patters of raindrops, I'm really hoping the forecast is 100% spot on this evening because I do. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It's good to be back with you here this evening for another free flow Friday here on the Sabrina Speaks. Welcome, welcome, one and all, as we say hello to the weekend and goodbye to the week. I hope that you all had a productive week. If you're just one of those Monday to Friday persons and you're looking into the weekend ahead, and for all of those where it isn't your traditional week because you're on shift, we know you're probably coming around to those days off or that finishing that shift of 3 on and now you're off, or 4 on, whatever it is. You know what? It's still the weekend in general, and things do get a little slower in some areas. We're wishing you all the best. Now let's take a look at our local news here this evening on the Sabrina Speaks show. Starting with local news. Port Authority operations continued without disruption on Thursday as the minister responsible for port, Honorable Joannie Ebanks, met with the board chairman, management, and staff representatives. Now, the discussion centered on the long-standing employee claim previously ruled statute bar by the courts. Now, staff completed their full shifts before attending, and officials confirmed port services remained fully functional without no interruptions. Now, the matter remains under active consideration, with all parties committed to constructive dialogue and fair resolution, ensuring the steady flow of passengers, cargo, and essential supplies across the Cayman Islands. And as the port maintains full operation stability, we turn now to developments unfolding elsewhere in the public sector, because after 41 years of public service, National Weather Service Director John Tibbetts will retire at the end of the month. Now, Tibbetts joined the former Civil Aviation Department in 1985 and helped transform a small aviation weather office into today's modern National Weather Service. He led major upgrades in forecasting technology and emergency preparedness through events like Hurricane Gilbert, Mitch, and Ivan. Government leader says that his leadership strengthened national resilience and built a team respected across the Caribbean. Now, Chief Meteorologist Carrie Powell will assume the role of director starting September 1st of this year. All the best to you, Mr. Tibbetts, and enjoy your retirement, and congratulations to you, Carrie Powell. As the National Weather Service prepares for new leadership, guess what? Attention now shifts to major roadworks that are set to begin in the Eastern District. I'm talking about construction on the new East-West Agrigola Connector Road will resume on Monday, the 24th of August, with works expected to continue through roughly 12 weeks. Now, Plahi and the National Roads Authority says that the road will remain closed to all eastbound traffic, while westbound access from Boddentown, East End, and Northside will be available on weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. Now, motorists should expect delays and exercise caution in the active construction zone, where a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit remains in place. Now, once completed, the connector road will improve connectivity and support long-term development in the Eastern Districts. Now, I know what some of you got going through your mind. They had all summer, and now this is when they're going to kick it off? Hey, hello. That's a topic, or weigh in on it if you're getting frustrated. But you know what? The works need to get done. Funding is needed. You never can tell. Hello. Maybe we can shine a light maybe on that, or the next time the minister is on, they'll tell you exactly why it appears the whole summer, and now this is going to impact you maybe. But I'm quite sure they'll walk around with it. They'll work around and see what's going on. So while these roadworks move ahead in the Eastern Districts, our concerns are growing on Cayman Brac. Yes, we're seeing where residents say they're still waiting for a promised veterinary service. Yes, because Cayman Brac residents says that they remain without reliable veterinary care as the Ministry of Agriculture works towards establishing a full-time vet on the island. Now, officials, this article was posted by CNS, told CNS that the long-term plan is to create permanent veterinary team, but there is still no confirmed timeline. Pet owners, by the way, say that the lack of services is causing distress, with animals often needing to travel to Grand Cayman for treatment. A petition signed by around 800 residents has called for urgent action, and advocates hope temporary support can be arranged until a full-time vet is in place. Now, as Cayman Brac residents continue to push for that improved veterinary services, let's take a look at what's happening with news regionally and internationally here this evening. We're seeing where reports in the United Kingdom press says that Prince and Princess of Wales do not want to get involved in discussions surrounding Harry and Meghan's return to Britain. Now, sources indicated that Prince William remains aligned with King Charles in ruling out any half and half out role for Sussexes within the monarchy. Now, despite renewed attention on the couple's visit, William and Catherine are said to be focused on their family, their public duties, and the future. Now, friends, note that they cannot forget everything that has happened, but remain determined to look ahead. Now, from that development within the royal family, we turn to international trade. Yes, because where drought conditions are concerned, yes, there are coming some major changes at the Panama Canal. What I'm talking about is that the Panama Canal Authority will reduce the number of ships passing through the waterway starting next month. That is due to drought conditions linked to this El Nino. Now, officials says that daily transits will drop from 36 to 34 on September 3rd, and then to 32 on September 15 as water levels in the lakes that feed the canal continues to fall. Rainfall from May to August is down by 34% from the historical average, and the canal handles around 5% of global maritime trade, and the restrictions are expected to impact shipping routes from major retailers and energy companies. As we continue to look around the region, we focus our attention to Barbados this evening because medical professionals in Barbados are warning that a growing number of requests to exempt children from routine immunizations could weaken the country's long-standing protection against vaccine-preventable diseases. Now, according to reports by Barbados Today, doctors says overseas misinformation is increasingly influencing parental decisions, raising concerns about future public health risks. Now, officials note that Barbados has historically maintained strong vaccination coverage, but sustained pressure on the system could erode that success if this trend continues. ABC News reports today that President Trump says his administration has reached a deal allowing importers of up to 300,000 metric tons of ground beef over the next 90 days. The move includes easing certain tariffs, with the administration claiming it is part of an effort to lower ground beef prices for consumers. Now, officials have not yet released full details of the agreement and how pricing impacts will be measured. The announcement, however, comes as food costs remains a major concern for households and retailers across the United States. Let's take a look at Business Markets closing report for today, because markets closed mixed today as investors navigated rising crude prices and elevated bond yields. In India, the Sensex ended essentially flat at 77,540.83, while the Nifty 50 posted marginal gains to 24,252, with both indices still recording weekly losses amid inflation concerns. On Wall Street, all three major U.S. indices finished higher, with the Dow up by 1% and the S&P 500 raising 0.4%, and the Nasdaq also closed at 0.4%, though each remains down for the week. Treasury yields, however, hovered near multi-year highs, and Bitcoin surged above 79,000 in late trading. Crude oil held near $94 and Brent $86.85 and WIT, while gold climbed more than 2% to 3-month high. And that's your business market closing reports for today. Yes, that's Friday, August 21st, in case you forgot the date. Yep. And we're ready for another episode of Sabrina Speaks here. So you enter and usher in the weekend. Good afternoon, good morning, good night to all of my peeps, even in a different time zone. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. It's that time where we say happy birthday. Happy birthday to those persons who are celebrating birthdays today. And I know this month has been busy. And if I've overlooked anybody, please, it was not intentional. There's a lot. If I'm not friends with you or if I don't get the information, guess what? It is easy for me to have an oversight. But you know what? Nevertheless, we do general shout outs because not everybody wants the attention either. And we have to respect them. Oh, yes, we will never, ever disrespect them. But yeah, from all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks show, we want to wish you all a happy birthday, wishing you all the best into the weekend as well. And in case you're one of those that celebrates all month, kudos to you. I can celebrate with you too. Because if I see you out, we just jump, we cheer, we do what we got to do. Because we live life and we do it responsibly. Yes, we do. Anyone celebrating an anniversary, we do the same as well. Happy anniversary to you. Wishing you nothing but the best as always. Yeah, because that's how we roll here. And many, many more as well. Patience and endurance is the key, and effective communication. Yep. And never forget to do what? Always put God first. Mess with me. Hear me? I better listen to myself. Where's Aliano? Is he on Jerry Springer Beach this evening? What is he up to on this fabulous Friday with the rain out there? He's probably somewhere trying to use his strengths to open up a bottle of Hennessy or something, knowing him. But you know, as I grab those images for the next section with our community announcements, we got to just give respect to, again, those persons who are mourning the loss of a loved one in our community. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to you as you navigate through this difficult time. And yes, we got our content creators in bloom that they're coming in. Thank you so much. Ooh, Damien shared us, and so is Donnie. Donnie, I'm coming to you. But look, we got 2 community announcements that I want to share with you, just in case you want to get an opportunity. Yeah, you see it right. It's called Bat Count. Bat Count Cayman flies home to roost next week. So there's an opportunity for you to win some prizes. Because, yes, the Department of Environment is reminding us that there's 1 week left to submit 3 bat counts and be entered to win prizes from Kirk Market, Foster's, Red Spale Sports, Cost You Less, and Ambassadors of the Environment. So here's how. If you want to get involved, submit your counts by 4 p.m. on Friday the 28th, so you still got some time on your hands for a chance to win. You can register if you haven't registered yet, and I will be sharing this after the show in the link below, but I can share the emails so that you can register your interest right there. And there we go. Since I'm currently talking about this. Yeah, there you go. That's the email. You can send them an email. Register your interest, email true.doe@gov.ky and start counting. You may be the lucky winner of a prize. Yeah, I'm sorry. I go out, but I never do that. Oh no, bat count. So kudos to all of you who enjoy that sort of stuff. Maybe this is something that you're interested in and you want to go and count bats. Yeah, new hobby? Where's Alfred Real? He has been very quiet. Oh, I know. Okay, let me hush. Yeah, okay, but yeah. Here's another one because it is that time of the month as we go into the end of the year, and I'm talking Older Persons Month ambassador nominations are on their way. And if you think, if you know, this is an opportunity for you to nominate an older person for Older Persons Month Ambassador Day. So if you know someone who is 65 years or older, making a real difference in our community, here, submit a nomination at, and I gotta make sure I'm going to share this as well, at DesaGOV Web, MSDI Publications, and also if you click onto their website, the forms are there, and forms can also be emailed to dcfs@gov. Now, this is something to remember. The deadline is August 31st. Yeah, August 31st. So let me see if I can also share this link with you, just in case we can make it easier. Or let's see. I hope it doesn't bar me. There we go. Let's go. So here's the one for this one. There we go. That's the information. That's the link, email, and everything. Please be reminded that the deadline is the 31st of August if you want to nominate an older person for Older Person Month Ambassador for 2026. There you go. You can't say you don't know. We're sharing all the information for you. Yeah. So there you have it. Good evening, one and all. It's good to have you here with us. Donnie is in the house. Yes, she is here with us, sharing with us some beauty as we share with you some of her beauties for today. Donnie is sharing this beautiful desert rose with us. Yep. Here's another one as well. And look at this lovely. All of these things can be gotten at Green Valley Nursery out there in Lower Valley, open from Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. until 4. And I know people like her are loving this rain. So yeah, if you see anything that is here or maybe other colors that may interest you, here you go. You go to Green Valley Nursery. You cannot miss it. And with all the roadworks going on there, maybe you'll just have enough time eventually either going home or coming down if you got a little extra time to pull in. It's from 7 a.m. until 4 in the evenings, Monday to Saturday, or make it a date and go there tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. You've probably heard of this all during this time. Go. She can help you design your space as well and give you some beautiful ideas to liven up whatever space you have outdoors. Miss Corinne Ebanks is with us. Good evening to you, my love. Love, love, love the top dress. Oh, it is just a top. And I got to say kudos and big shout outs to Lorna's Fashion there on Mary Street. This is a top from Miss Lorna. And yeah, she took good care of me. Lorna's Fashion, shameless plug for you, Miss Lorna, my friend. I know she's cussing me because it's been a while, but yeah, no, it has to be special when you know you got your priorities and yeah. I'm not really in the public's eye like that anymore. So yeah, I know she's been missing me, but if there's ever an emergency and you want something that's unique, Miss Lorna's Fashion right there on Mary Street. And just might fit as well in A.L. Thompson's building for us more voluptuous women. Yeah, they just got you just woohoo, curve you out. So yeah, but this Connie is from Lorna's Fashion, and she has beautiful tops, pantsuits, those nice flowy pants and stuff that makes you look nice, but you're not showing all the lumps and the bumps. It still got you walking and looking like Cinderella. Miss Lorna can fix you up. If I gotta leave Miss Lorna alone, oh my God, she would have me in some things, let me tell you, but she knows your body type and she sees you in the outfit. So go right down there to Lorna's Fashion on Mary Street and let her fix you up. The holidays are fast approaching. You don't want to be last minute, or you may just be coming off vacation. Says Sabrina, girl, I was just shopping, taking care of the deals, but I totally forgot. Yeah, I got this to attend. I got that to attend. Yes, the holidays are coming. Have no fear. Lorna's is there. Andrew is with us. Good evening. Happy Friday to you, my dear. He says, good evening, Sabrina and Cayman. Family member, Mr. Carney Robinson passed away yesterday. Okay, thank you for sharing those condolences. And for true, I was with my aunt earlier on, and me and her were talking about Mr. Carney. Yes, thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Carney's family. So that one slipped me. But yes, through this sad time, which is why I'm so happy. I just do general acknowledgements because you can sometimes get caught up and you miss something, someone, and it's not intentional. But thank you. That is why you guys are stalwarts. You guys make it. And feel free to comment if it is. And I definitely do my best to read all of the comments I can once you share them. So yes, thank you, Andrew. And happy Friday to you, my dear friend. Damian Henry is with us. Let's see what words he has for us today. Always coming in with some beautiful words. And I tell you, Damian can hook you up if you ever need any help with just crafting something nice. The man is good. He's good. Damian is saying good evening. Good evening, all. He says, today marks 1 year since I lost my queen. Oh, and he's talking about his mom. My everything, he says. A year has passed, yet the space you left behind still echoes strength through my days. Your love was my shelter, your strength my foundation, and your wisdom my guiding light. Though I can no longer hold your hand, I carry your spirit in my heart with every step I take. You may be gone from my sight, but never from my soul. Forever loved, forever missed, forever my queen. Oh, Damien, we're going to give you a virtual hug today. That is so sweet. And yes, you carry her in your heart. And, these are beautiful flowers that despite you doing that you will see her in every bloom like these. And you will feel her touch in every breeze and her hug deep within your soul. From all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks, Damien, our thoughts and prayers with you as you navigate this next chapter without your mom. And this is where the healing really starts. But our thoughts go out to you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. We are here for you, as virtual as it may be. We are here for you. And by extension, everyone who's navigating the loss of a loved one. Yes, Damien, so sweet of you. So sweet. And yeah, we hold you dear to us. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, Damien, and thank you for sharing that as well with us here. Miss Brenda is also here with us, and she saw it. Damien Henry, tomorrow, 22nd of August, will be 8 years since my mama left me. I miss her every day. Yeah, it is hard. It's hard. It is that no one can tell you how it hits you, and each person mourns differently and feel that loss. Some, it doesn't hit them sometimes until years afterwards. And maybe a smell of a perfume or a particular time of the year, or maybe you're at a friend's funeral or wedding and it just hits you. But guess what? Hey, there's no blueprint when it comes, or timeline, to when it comes to healing, to when it comes to mourning the loss of a loved one. You just roll with it. You don't have to explain a thing to a soul. We're all human beings. And some of us will be strong as an ox until it's all over. And in our private time, or like when I say, you just remember something and you just let it out. Don't make your gender stop you from showing your emotions. Bottom line, you are human. You cry it out, do whatever it takes. And there's no time when it comes to mourning. That's a loved one. That's a part of you. That person gave you life. So yes, thank you both for sharing that with us. And I know what that pain is like. And yeah, I've been told that I'm the strong one. I just hold it together, let me tell you. But the day I was told, the day that breaks, the day it breaks, there's always one strong one. Some tend to think that I'm cold, but no, it's not. Someone got to hold it together, but I'm not like sacrificing it. I do mourn in my own way. And there are times that, like the fire officer, a school friend of mine, I just lost it here on the platform. And how do I know that was in years of buildup, because we had such a rough time here. We had lost so much people in such a short time, but I was more from imagine working in the fire department and you having two I think Whitelock had passed away just weeks before. And I could only imagine what that was like with that staff. And yeah, you just see people just falling away. Look at Robert, Miss Dana Watson. She's my neighbor. They're all my neighbors. It's hard. It's really hard. And we have been hearing, look, Miss Carol and all of them, Mr. Tibbetts. I'm a friend. These are all people, may not be blood related, but you have relationships with them and you feel these losses. So thank you all for sharing this with us. And this is what I love with this space. that you're that comfortable and we embrace you here. Yeah. So thank you so much. And I will never, ever, never, ever leave out these moments where we come back to center and just respect. We all go through this and we carve it out. We carve it out here. That's okay. We can share these moments with you as virtual as well. Yeah. Damien is saying, I have learned to accept the situation for what it is because it would destroy me if I don't. Yes. Yes. And like I said, don't rush it. Don't rush the process. Just take it one step at a time. One step at a time, my love. That's all you got to do. Welcome, welcome, one and all, and welcome to another episode here of Sabrina Speaks. This is Wind Down, nope, not Wind Down, Free Flow Friday, as Open Mic here continues here for the summer edition that is proudly sponsored by Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting. And yes, we are here. The phone lines are open should you want to something bothering you or, you just want to shift gears. We are here for it. We are here for it. But like I told you, in case you got an interest in what the flyer says, it's really making sure that I can hold you all and do what I come here to do. Produce a show. Make sure that we are here for one another and I'm able to deliver the show here for you Monday to Friday from 5 until 7 p.m. because that's what we do here for you. So yeah, it is good to be back with you. And I am putting the spotlight this evening and sharing with you some information that I saw in regards to reverse ATM. ATM. And if you've ever, I'm talking about the ATMs, like how you go up and you just withdraw cash. Yeah. I'm going to be looking a little bit into that topic. And as I said, should something else be pressing you and you want to call in, you want to join us, feel free. 936-8255 is the number to call to talk about it. But I found this was interesting because it popped up on my news feeds and the commentary behind it was pretty much 50-50 split. Some are saying it's controlled and the other 50 is saying it's convenience. What I'm talking about is reverse ATMs and the global shift that is obviously appearing towards cashless systems. Because some persons in discussions that I'm seeing is saying that it's about modernization and some says it's definitely about control. It has nothing to do with convenience. It's more control. Well, what's your take on it? Others believe that's serious. It is just a way of blocking you because they see everything you swipe your card. They know when you go to the petrol store. They know when you go to the fast food joints. They know when you go out for dinner, when you pay your utilities. They know when you're off island and all that sort of stuff, be it financial, social, or even political. Yeah. This people are feeling that it's all about control. So what my aim here tonight is to do is to try and do my best and share with you all and explain it. So in case you see these machines, should you ever, because in certain countries, they're in wide use already for ease, should you ever have been to a sports game, they are saying that they're there. They are at sports games. And let me see if I can grab. Oh, here it is. There it is. Got it. Yeah. There. Yeah. So they're already in circulations just in case you are looking for them. They're out there in wide circulation. So why not? Why not embrace it? But you're entitled to your opinion is what people are saying. And I want to look into it and get your opinion on it because your feedback matters to me a great deal. And it's not about just delivering. Where the heck did it go? It's not about just delivering a show. I want you to be a part of the discussion as well. And I want to get your feedback. So yes, I welcome you to join me here. And let's see exactly how we can put this all together as I continue to share the light on this. Connie Bonnie is in the house with us. Good evening, my sweet. So good to have you here with us. Yes, yes, yes. And the entire crew. Now, let's talk about it. What I'm talking about, and I have the flyer here that I will have to share with you because I'm not pulling out the darn machine for some reason. It's not cooperating with me. But just in case you miss the flyer for today, literally, this is not AI itself. This was the promo for today. And it looks just like that, you know. It looks just like that. Some people are saying that these reverse ATM machines, as we're seeing the global shift towards a cashless system, it's really about modernization. And I want us to know what it's all about, what it is. And this reverse ATM is not a machine that reverses your bank transaction. Actually, it's opposite of a regular ATM machine as we know it. And a regular ATM, you know how it works. You go, you insert your card, and you get your cash, you go about your business. No, you can also do your deposits there as well at ATMs where you can deposit a check, you can deposit cash. Sometimes it has the amount of bills you can put in per transaction. You know how it works. This is reverse of that. Because a reverse ATM, you insert cash, you insert checks, but more so cash. And what you get in return is a prepaid debit card. Yes, you will find these machines now that are becoming very common. Guess where? In stadiums, in airports, also at theme parks. And they're popping up more now at concert venues. Those restaurants that don't deal with anything called cash. So you got cashless restaurants. And guess where they're raising their heads? Universities. And in some countries, also in government buildings. Yes. So what they're doing is that they exist because more places now are going cash. Even though it's not necessarily hitting us here yet at home as hard or even regionally, there are some places in the EU, UK, even the United States, Canada. Some restaurants are just saying no cash, cards only. United Kingdom, for sure. There are lots of places. But at the end of the day, people still need that access to do both, right? You still need to serve people who carry cash. So hence the birth of the reverse ATM. So these reverse ATMs are what they're finding now is a bigger movement, and a movement definitely in your face, whether or not you're ready for it, for digital money, traceable transactions, and cashless environments. So now you would understand why some people are saying this is all about tracking and trying to control us when they're deliberately putting these in key areas where they're saying, look, you can bring your cash, but unless you have a card, hello, it's not going to work. But yeah, come. We got a reverse ATM here. Put that said cash in here, and we're going to give you a card. That's where we're headed. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Hi, Sabrina. How are you?
Hey, Miss Brenda. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay,
For
if you
some
would
reason, I
allow
didn't see
me.
it come up. I just answered.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you would allow me, please,
Sure.
just to say to Damien,
Ah,
because he said 1 year for him,
yes, ma'am.
and as you rightly said, everybody grieves differently. There are different, I say, stages and phases of
Mm-hmm.
grief,
Mm-hmm.
and necessarily come in the same order. Um, but when I lost my father, which was 7 years before my mother, that grieving process was a lot different for me with him.
Mm-hmm.
The anger came first, and it lasted
Ah.
a very long time. But when I was losing my mother, I was granted grace and mercy from God to spend time with her
Mm.
before she passed over. And we talked and stuff, and she told me different things, and she was ready to go. She knew she was going,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me, she wanted to see Jesus. She always loved him and always wanted to see him,
Mm-hmm.
but she loved us too.
Right.
So I realized she was at that point where I needed to say to her, it's okay. If
Mm.
you're ready, you can go. Because they will stay there forever
Mm-hmm.
unless, the children say it's okay.
Release them. Mm-hmm.
And of course, my siblings didn't like it. Some of them got very upset with me and said I shouldn't say it, blah, blah, blah. But I knew that that was what needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now, the difference with her is that I only miss her. There's nothing else. There's, all those other emotions and stuff. I didn't feel them with
Mm-hmm.
her.
Mm-hmm.
I only miss her. And like I said, I had that opportunity with her that many don't.
Have.
And
Mm-hmm.
what I can say, and I have said to so many people, with time, it gets easier.
Mm-hmm.
It never leaves you. It just gets easier to
Mm-hmm.
deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And the memories are what we have left, so we have to cherish them.
Right.
And no matter what they are, whether it's pictures or little trinkets, whatever,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we cherish them. Like,
Yes.
for example, my mother loved handkerchiefs. And
Mm.
yes, and I took that from her. And but I was traveling, and when I got back home, I went to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled my sister aside, and I said to her, "She's leaving us. It's not going to
Mm.
be much longer." And I always used to bring her back gifts, especially her
Mm-hmm.
monogrammed handkerchiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But she was so frail at that time, I didn't get to give her her gifts.
Mm-hmm.
But when she passed, and I also said I didn't want to see her take her last breath.
Ah.
I was No, I wasn't going to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to see her after.
Mm.
And but what I did, the handkerchief that I had gotten for her,
Mm-hmm.
it had her initial, and I got Churchill, put it in her hand.
Mm.
Yeah, so that one she's buried with.
Oh, how
And
sweet.
I can say this now because no one can do anything about it. I have one of the originals of her wedding picture, and she wanted me to keep the original, so I got a copy for her,
Mm-hmm.
and an extra copy that I just kept. And people would come and say, "Why don't you frame that picture?" And I say, "It's not time yet." And they say, "What do you mean?" I say, "It's not time yet."
Mm.
But when she passed,
Mm-hmm.
I framed that picture and I buried her with that also, her wedding picture,
Okay.
because
Wow.
that, that was the man she loved.
Mm-hmm.
She loved him until the day she died. And I know that a part of her wanted to stay with us, but the other part of her wanted to go and see him,
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about that.
Okay.
And yeah, so that I did. And I can say that now because,
Mm.
like I
Yeah.
said, nobody can do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
My other siblings didn't know that I did it. I didn't tell them, but that was something I had always told her I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I remembered it
Mm.
because in times like that, you don't remember everything.
Right, right, right. Because there's so much
And
emotions, people around, you're
yeah,
just trying to deal
yeah,
with it. There's a lot. And
mhm,
yeah, you barely have time to even deal with
mhm,
your immediate family and siblings because everyone is
yeah,
just showing that outpouring love and support that you are
mhm,
more in between the love and support from those who are not
mhm,
necessarily immediate, but very close, that sometimes these
yeah,
things do happen.
Yeah, but see, I'm realistic. While I didn't want her to go, I knew she was going.
Mm-hmm.
I, I did not want to watch her suffer.
Mm-hmm.
For the person that she was,
Mm-hmm.
and for what she had then become,
Hard
to
worker
me that
too.
was hard. Yes, to me that
Mm-hmm.
was harder. And that I thank God for every day, that her lack, or should I say her dependence
Mm-hmm.
on everyone was for a short period.
Right.
And she'd lost her eyesight also before she passed.
Mm.
So and she dealt with many things, but when she lost her sight, that is what defeated her.
Okay.
Uh, yes, believe it or not. But
Mm.
my 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 grieving for her was a much easier process than it was for my father. And of course, I'm sure everyone knows the circumstances were different, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I consider a lot of unfinished business between us. And he didn't get the opportunity to do what she was able to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can only say I don't know what phase or what stage, Damien is at, but I can say to him that with time, it's
Yes.
all going to get better.
Yes.
That I know.
Yes.
They're always with you. And without sounding like a weirdo, anytime I am not well, my mother is with me,
Mm-hmm.
is with me.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, she's with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I I know that's God's way of letting me know that He is with me. He
Mm-hmm.
hasn't abandoned me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I get my strength, and my faith is there. So it doesn't matter what is going on with me. I give it to God to handle, because we have to do that. Some things are too big for us.
Mm-hmm.
So but we have to trust Him.
Right.
We have to trust Him.
Right.
And when I was going through my major, major health issues, my mother was still alive, and it did her so bad. I was afraid that she was going to die. And I
Mm.
kept her, you know, don't do that. I said, you can make me so guilty, because I'm going to be okay.
Right.
But I need you to be okay. And something that most people would do. And I experienced it for a second time. And when it happened the second time, I'll tell you what I was most grateful for, that she was already gone,
Mm.
because I didn't want her to get in that condition again.
Okay.
And then watch her deal with it like that, and me, going to do what I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, perhaps I would wake up only to know that she had gone. Then
Mm-hmm.
I would feel guilty. So, what I do remember, the very first time, which was back in 2007, when I woke up, my daughter was there. I couldn't see, but I could hear. And she was holding my hand and she was saying, "Mommy, I love you." And I said, "I love you too." And I said to her, "Go and call Mama now and let her know I'm okay, so
Mm-hmm.
she can stop worrying."
Mm.
Yes. So I obviously went to sleep with that, and I woke up with it.
With that. Oh,
And yes,
Damien is saying thank you for your kind words. I'm taking it
yes,
one day at a time.
at a time. That's right. That's what our Father tells us to do. Trust Him. And as long as we trust Him, He's going to comfort us.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever pain we're feeling, going to ease that pain. And we're always going to miss our loved ones. But like I said, with time,
Mm-hmm.
it does get easier to deal with.
Right.
There were times when I was still waiting for my father to call me. My first birthday afterwards, because he was a birthday person, and I took that from him. And my first birthday after he was gone, I was there waiting for him to call because he wanted to be the first person to call. And I had an appointment because it had become a little ritual for me
Mm-hmm.
that every day I went and did a pedicure. And so I was waiting, call, waiting. I'm saying, but that is late today. And at some point, it hit me, Brenda, he's not calling today.
Oh.
You won't get that call ever again. And then, like, all the weight came down on me. And then I could not be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went and I left the house. I went to my appointment early because I knew once I could be around people, I'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how I dealt with that. And every Sunday morning, he would call me because he went to his early service and he would get back and he would call me. And after he said good morning, the next question was, did I go to church? Yes, oh yes. And if I said no, why?
Mm-hmm.
I, I had to be sick to death's door before it was accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And I said yes, then he would say, okay, good. That was the first thing. And so for years, I missed that Sunday morning call. And
Okay.
eventually I realized it wasn't coming. And then there are times when, I'm trying to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reaching for, I say, hold on, I can call Dad and
Aye,
ask
and
him.
then it hit you.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's things like that.
Yeah.
And then with my mother being blind, I called her like 3 times a day. And if I hadn't called her by a certain time,
Mm-hmm.
she was later to call me, see what had happened,
Right.
because I hadn't called yet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's still times. And I'll say, oh, gee, I didn't call mommy yet today. You know?
Yep.
Yes.
But you get a
But
routine. That happened to me a couple
yeah,
times with my mother. There are certain
yes.
milestones or
Mhm,
certain things you hear and you're like,
mhm,
I wonder, but that's
mhm,
strange. I got called Kiki because I
mhm,
never call her mom. I
mhm,
called her Kiki.
mhm.
And
Okay.
I said, I got called Kiki. And then it
Mhm,
hits you and you sink. It's like you can't even
mhm,
describe it, but like it's something in you
mhm.
just sinks. And
Yeah.
you then come to the realization, well, okay,
Mhm,
you can still do
mhm,
this. You can still talk to them
mhm,
in your heart. But that
mhm,
routine that we have, I have that even with some of my seniors here to this day, that
mhm,
I still, there's just certain times of the week, and
mhm.
oh gosh, if days go by, they make me feel guilty, they make me feel guilty. So what
Yes,
happened? What you
of
did?
course.
What did you know? And I hear from you
Mhm,
forever. So
mhm,
you've gotten into
mhm,
that routine, and oh God, I don't know what's gonna
mhm,
happen if
mhm,
one of those links are removed. Yeah,
mhm.
so it is very personal,
Yeah,
and the same thing with grandparents. I mean,
yeah,
the tradition for me going down to my grandmother's
yeah.
house, that still
Mhm,
remains today. We still go
mhm.
there. Just before the show, I was down there. It's just
Yeah,
something that keeps me going back there, and it just
yeah,
brings back all of those memories. And I'm so
that's
happy
right.
that Georgia is still
Mhm,
there, and we're still
yeah,
able to congregate
mhm.
because that
Right.
holds them dear to us, even though they're
That's
not
right.
there in
That's
person.
right.
We
Mhm,
introduce that to our kids
mhm.
and their
That's
kids,
right.
and that tradition continues. So we're
Mhm.
blessed to still have
Of
that
course,
house there, that
of
we
course.
can still have that connection.
And don't ever, ever part with that house. Don't, don't,
I hear you.
don't, don't put a price tag on that, please.
I hear you.
Consider that like yourself, priceless.
I hear you.
Um, I only had, well, I only knew one grandparent, and my mother's father had passed when she was 6. My paternal grandmother died 2 years before I was born. And then my grandfather on that side, he was British. So he left and he didn't come back. So
Mm.
yeah. So he retired in Wales and that's where he's buried. He died and is buried there. And I always told Dad I was gonna take him to go, to the cemetery and
Hmm.
visit his so on. But Dad didn't like cold weather. So
Oh,
Every time we discussed it, he would say, "Oh, it's going to be cold." I said, "But we ain't going when it's cold." And then, of course, he started to get up in age,
Yeah.
and he refused to go in a wheelchair.
Oh,
So
I can see
that
him
was,
now with one little briefcase. I can see him now.
hmm hmm so that was final. And I said to him, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm still going, you know." And he would always ask me, if I was serious about it and was I still going. And I did go, um, 6 years after he had passed.
Mm. And you found
It
it.
was,
You found the spot.
yeah, because I went on to this, what do you call it? My Heritage.
Mm-hmm.
It was two of them, and this was in the UK, and I got all the information on him, even the funeral home that dealt with him.
Oh,
You know, yes, the morgue and the number of his what the thing is you put them in,
a
they would
crypt. Is
just
is
spit a stack them in before they buried. I had all of that information.
okay.
So it was easy then for me to find the funeral home and the
Mm-hmm.
cemetery. And then they gave me a map. And what I had done, I had prepared something to leave there. And I had an uncle, was my father's half brother, who lived in England. And I went to meet them as well for the first time. And so I told them that I was going back to Wales and what I was going for. And I said, "Whoever wants to come with me, welcome." So some of them went with me.
Oh, that's
And what
sweet.
I did, I got a picture of their dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I had one of daddy, and I had it laminated. Got a picture of their dad, had that one laminated, and then my other uncle, who had already passed, I got one of his pictures and I laminated that, and I put them. It was like a sort of like a hurricane lantern,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
put I put them in there. So either way you looked at it,
You could see
you'd
some
see one of
image.
his sons.
Mm-hmm.
You'd
Okay.
see one of his sons.
Right.
Yeah. And so I left that there. And like I say, it was bittersweet because my father didn't
Make it
get
in
to live
person. Yeah.
yet, but I
Mm,
did that for
how
that
sweet.
was something I had to do for him.
Mm-hmm.
So um, to both my parents, you know, whatever they asked me to do, I'm happy to say I got it done. I was nobody's favorite, but clearly they both trusted me and knew that whatever they asked me to do, it would get done. And like I said, I'm happy that they both had that trust and confidence in me.
Mm.
I I took my mother's, as she put it, I had her guts.
Mm.
So no, my father was a very passive person. My mother was a little firestorm. So
I worked with her for a short
yeah,
time at Kirk
yeah.
Plaza's.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
know. In the
hmm
deli. Yep, she was in the deli.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and moving from that and talking about these ATMs.
Yeah, these reverse ATMs I managed to grab. Thank
hmm
you. First of all, Miss Brenda, thank
hmm
you so much.
hmm
And I just what
You're
Damien
welcome.
says, thank you for your kind words. I'm quite sure those who can relate to what you're saying. And
Mhm.
thank you for your candor. If you see the curtain behind me moving, that's Chance. He's just doing his own little
Oh,
thing. If you
oh,
see,
you have
there's not,
your
there's
little doggy.
my little doggy, he's in here. He comes to work. But yes, coming back to that, I
What
thought
kind, before you go, what kind of dog is it?
it's a Shih Tzu, 100% Shih Tzu.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah. So I have
I
understood.
love dogs, but
Oh,
I'm afraid of them.
oh no, I can only deal with the small ones. But he comes to work. He gets up here before me in the afternoons. Now he
Okay.
himself has a routine. But I can tell you,
Uh-huh.
5 or 10 minutes to 7, he is by the
Mm-hmm.
door and he's positioning
Uh-huh.
himself so that he can see me,
That's
giving me the
right.
side eye. And there was
Mm-hmm.
the other evening that we went over a couple minutes, and I don't think you guys realized it, or you may have thought it was
Mm-hmm.
just a glitch in the
Mm-hmm.
connection. He
Mm-hmm.
literally hits the tripod for the camera. So the sucker knows exactly what he's
Ah.
doing. And it's usually by 5 to 7. If I go over, he does not sit by the door. He bumps the tripod. So
Yeah. Well, I was about to say that they become very, very, what's that word, possessive
Yes, he
of
is.
you.
He is a lap dog.
Because,
He is
yeah,
a lap dog. He is mine.
he's,
He's very
yep,
needy.
hmm
Very needy.
yep. And he's seen you change a routine. So
Correct. Because
he's
I was
not,
hardly ever
yeah,
here. So
right,
now I'm
right.
always
hmm
working from home. Yep.
And he's just letting you know, hey,
It's my
remember
time.
me? Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you weighing
I'm
on
sorry.
this
Eh,
reverse ATM? I
Okay,
have a image
okay,
here on the screen.
yeah. Just before I say that, I wanted to mention this. And this again is to do with how people deal with things and how other people react to it, although I don't care what anybody thinks about anything I say or do.
What
Let's get
happened?
that one out now. But when my mother passed, but she hadn't passed yet, but she was in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking, putting things together. And I said I would write my own tribute and I was going to read it myself. So, and I did. And then I was told that someone at the church had made a comment about me and said, oh, how I had to be different, you know, from what I had read the other tributes, but I had to read my own. Of course, they wouldn't tell me who said it. So I said, but please tell them. As last time I checked, I was Alta's daughter. And if I wanted to read my tribute to her, that was my business. And in my opinion, they shouldn't have been there because clearly they were not there for the right reason.
Hmm.
Because if that's all they took away from my mother's funeral, then I say they shouldn't have been there.
Mm.
I read my tribute to my mother because no one could have done that for me. There was a lot of stuff in that
Mm-hmm.
that only I knew because it was stuff between she and I.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to speak about my sister and the relationship that my mother had with her.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't think, well, first of all, I didn't know what anybody else was going to say, but I could not have done my tribute without including my sister and the relationship she had with my mother. And
Mm.
I had to speak about it. And I also said that every mother should have a daughter like her. And my mother had 5 girls, but that daughter, like I said, I don't know how she could do it,
Mm-hmm.
but she was my mother's best friend. And as she opened her eyes every morning, that's the first person she asked for.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Oh.
So, and I didn't feel jealous in any way. As a matter of fact, I said it was well deserved because, of the kind of daughter she was to my
Mm-hmm.
mother.
Mm-hmm.
And when she couldn't deal with it. And I said to her, listen, I said, God is going to bless you tremendously, abundantly, and forever. I said, for everything you did for Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and the good thing about it is, it was you that she wanted to do it. I said she was happy, the happiest when you were around or
Mm-hmm.
when you were there for her. And I'm so happy that you did it because they were her happy times
Mm-hmm.
in the end. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
So whatever people need to do that is best for them, you don't worry about what other people say. You got to do it for you. It's your grief.
Mm-hmm.
And never allow anyone to dictate to you how to grieve.
Well said.
They're not people you need around you. Okay. So moving forward, and thank you for allowing me to go back
Sure.
there.
Sure.
Moving forward with these machines,
Mm-hmm.
it's convenience or control.
Mm-hmm. That
I
was my line, my flyer to is it
okay,
because the
okay.
no, but even for the article that I saw, the
Mhm,
comments were 50-50. Some are saying,
mhm,
look, it's convenience. I don't want to get
mhm,
robbed. The chances of you
mhm,
stealing, let's say, $1,000 from me cash and the impact
mhm,
that can have versus
Mhm.
taking my card from me, not knowing the
Mhm.
PIN,
Mhm.
not knowing whatever. I
Mhm.
can quickly alert the bank. You understand? It's
Mhm.
a total different thing. So this is where the argument is coming. The debate is convenience versus control. Control being extended to governments trying to
Yeah.
limit and know
Mhm.
exactly your movements, what your spending habits are like, knowing your behaviors and all of that sort of stuff. So really, on a wider scale, it is
Mhm.
it's split. It's split.
Well, what I'm going to say, it is both, but it depends on where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are countries, like for example, in Russia, you cannot just exchange money at your hotel. It's just like pretty much like Cuba, still in the communism frame of mind. You have to do it at, a bank or a licensed cambio,
Mm-hmm.
or they have ATMs, and you can put your card in the ATM and withdraw their currency
Mm.
only.
Oh.
You're not allowed to spend euro, US dollars, or any other currency on the street. The hotels cannot take it from you. So, like I say, it's in a case like that, that's control, but yet it's convenient to you. Because had they not had the ATM machine, then how would you get currency?
Mm-hmm.
Cash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for some places are not equipped for cards. And I think of our older people. Everybody
Yes.
is quick to make all of these changes, but they're not thinking about that generation. It's
Mm-hmm.
all, e-billing and online payments and stuff, but no one has remembered our older people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really, I have to say, astounded that the government has allowed these companies to basically unilaterally, do all of this e-billing.
Mm-hmm.
Because with that, there's no need for a post box. And we know that post boxes
Mm-hmm.
bring revenue to the government. So
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought the government would have been the first ones to say, no, no, stop, stop. Apart from our revenue, this is our culture. This is how our older people get their bills. This is what they're used to,
Mm-hmm.
walking in with their paper and their cash and paying their bills.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't know how to use a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them know how to, but don't have a computer. Some of them, most of them, I would say, do not know how to operate a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
So my concern, and I raise this question all the time, what are you going to do about those people? Who is going to assist them?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go cashless as long as we have that generation existing.
But what they're
I was born in a time when there were no computers.
mm-hmm.
I had to learn to use computers. And so I would say my generation, we were introduced to computers. Afterwards, those children were born into computers. But the generation before me is the generation I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
People like mother, you know, who's going to assist them? And I do not agree with this. I do not think that financial services or monetary authority should allow any bank to operate cashless. That is not going to, I don't know, it's laziness. And I'll tell you why they really don't want the cash. It's because to bring it in, you have to pay. And to send it back out, you have to pay. That is why some banks have the audacity to tell you they're not taking coins. I'm talking about US currency now.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
because it's by weight and they don't want to pay that weight to send it out.
Okay.
I think it needs to be one thing across the board, and I would certainly hope that they do not decide it has to be cashless. Because again, I'm thinking about our older people
Mm-hmm.
that don't have anyone around to help them. And Sabrina, you already know that the way business is done now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not I come and say, I'm Alta's daughter. I'm here to do this.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have an Alta's account. What authority have you come here with? We don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it means I have to go get my mother. And like I said, she'd gone blind. So I had to go get my blind mother and take her where she needed to go and do what she needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Until other arrangements could be made that, of course, some of her children then, could do
Right.
these things for her. But up to that point, someone had to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just inconveniencing her. You
Mm-hmm.
were all inconveniencing someone else.
Well,
Okay?
interesting because you're saying about here. Do you realize? And I noticed Connie made a thing that A.L. Thompson's been doing reverse cash a long time, not necessarily with the machine, but that led me to think. You see the gift certificate, the gift cards that you can get from Foster's, Hurley's, and Kirk's.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that they have a barcode on the back of those? Do you know that if you go in there and someone has the barcode number, you can
Mm-hmm.
walk into that store. Let's say Hurley's, for example. You could walk into
Mm-hmm.
Hurley's and say, this is the barcode for this Hurley's gift card. Can you put
Mm-hmm.
$50 on it for me?
Mm.
Yes. They're not disposable, you know.
Well, what I
You can
know,
top up those cards because
uh,
even the little
I did,
baggers at Foster's, I
okay.
said, darling,
Oh,
I don't have no cash. He said, no, ma'am,
mm-hmm.
that's okay. I said,
Mm-hmm.
you got you got a machine on your phone or what? He smiled. He said, no, you can top
Mm-hmm.
up my card. And the cashier looked at me and said, yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
give him a tip and you don't have the cash, she said, I
Mm-hmm.
can top up his card. When I looked at it, it
Okay.
was a Foster's card.
Card.
And I
Okay.
could tell them then, it's like buying
Mm-hmm.
something. I'm buying that card,
How
but
much?
I'm topping up that card. So
Okay.
when you think about it and you're talking about we're not there, it's just that we don't have the machines producing the cards and you're feeding in the cash. It's because it's
Mm-hmm.
already here, but it's more manual. And a
Yeah.
lot
See,
of people do not
yeah.
realize topping up those gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
For example, as a former politician, used to give those gift cards. Those people do not have to dispose those cards. You can
Yeah. Well,
top them up. You can
yes.
top
Yeah.
them up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But you need the
Well,
number.
yes. And I know that they have a barcode
Yep.
because I remember once a friend of mine was getting married and it wasn't anything big. And I said, well, where did you register? She said, nowhere. And I said, well, you need to register somewhere. What do you need? I mean, she had her house and
Yeah, yeah.
everything already. So what I did then, I went because I knew what color she was using in her kitchen, and I went to A.L. Thompson's and bought her a gift card
Mm-hmm.
and bought her, a card for her wedding, and I put that in it, and that's what I gave her.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, whatever you get with it, let me see, so I'll know what gift I gave you.
Ah,
So yeah, because that's how I am.
yeah.
My last birthday with my father, because I said I didn't need birthday gifts and so on. But if they wanted to give me gift certificates for books or plants,
Mm-hmm.
that was of course, yeah. But he wasn't like that. He wanted to actually give you a gift.
Yeah.
So in card, he gave me money,
Okay.
and I didn't get a gift right away. And I have to be very honest and say it wasn't until he had passed that I had
Mm.
this company now to go and get something.
In memory of
And
him. Mm-hmm.
that's right, his gift to me. And my sister said to me, maybe you shouldn't do that at this time. You don't want people talking about you and saying, oh, Dad just passed and she's out looking this and
About
looking
a
that,
business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I wasn't thinking like that. So I just kind of paused
Mm-hmm.
and I eventually got what I think is the appropriate gift coming from him. Because for
Mm-hmm.
some reason, I associated butterflies with him because he was
Mm.
finally free. and his color was purple. And so I found a beautiful crystal purple butterfly. And that's what I got with the money
Nice.
that he gave me. And I put it right in the front of his picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his gift to me.
Yeah.
And but with the gift cards, I mean, I call them gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know the ones at Foster's.
Oh yeah, you
Sorry,
can top those up.
sorry,
Anyone.
not Foster's, not Foster's, Thompson's. I
Yeah.
didn't know that theirs could be
Yeah,
topped up.
yeah,
I
they
didn't
can
know.
be taught. Once they have a barcode on them,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you would have to go to the vendor, meaning whoever the gift card is from, and you would have to do the transaction there and then. But you need the number, and they can manually. Of course, it's always best to scan the barcode. But if you just by chance have the number, they can do it manually, and then whatever monetary amount you then want to put on that card, you give them their cash.
Oh,
Because
because
you see how the conversation split the convenience
that's
versus
right.
control.
That's right. Because now the only place that little bagger can use that is Foster's.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you gave them cash, they might want to run up to Subway and get a Subway sandwich.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Or they might want to use the $5 by digital or flow and top up their phones.
Mm-hmm.
See, so this is why I'm saying I'm not against either one.
Yeah.
But like I said, it has to be done properly. And every generation has to be considered. You cannot wipe one thing out, it's going to hurt, the people here. And you cannot keep introducing stuff that people are not familiar with. And as far as being robbed, let me just say, I'm one of these people. I'm afraid to go to ATMs. Okay? Yes. Oh, yes, I have a phobia about that. And you can be robbed. Believe it or not, you don't have to have cash on you. You can be robbed. Suppose someone comes while you are there and at gunpoint, they demand you to take money out for them. Yes?
We have heard stories and seen that, yeah.
That's right. You might only be able to take your daily limit. But guess what? To save your own life, assuming they're not going to shoot you afterwards, you're still being robbed. So you have to, this is something that, to me, it should not be done in a hurry. It needs to be explored, almost as if you're dissecting a tumor. I hate to bring that analogy, but just meaning it has to be done properly. And consider who's going to help, who's going to hurt, where we need to, implement things and so, because we can't leave anyone behind.
Out. Right.
So that would be my opinion there.
Thank you very much.
And like I said, and just in closing, both are correct. It's
Yeah.
convenient.
I think that's
and
why
it
it's a
is-
50-50
it
split.
is
Yeah.
control.
Correct.
Yes. Mhm.
Thank you very much, my
Okay.
dear. Have a good evening
All
and
right.
have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Oh, you too.
Sure, thanks. Yes, there we have it. Thank you, Miss Brenda, for weighing in on that. And yeah, you are quite right. It is quite split. And just like Miss Anita is saying, they are not really considering the older generation who wouldn't be in the cashless society in more ways than one. And then you look at it now where you even seeing where you can shop online and you can sit there in your sofa and you can do your grocery shopping and you can pay a little card with your debit card or whatever that's on your phone and all of that. So, oh my gosh, yes, this is where we're headed. To be honest with you, Damien feels the same way, to be honest with you. He says, what about the elderly individuals as well who are not tech savvy? With ATMs are convenient for individuals, they could foster criminal, exactly what the caller said, criminal activity in the future. Example, sophisticated scammers using devices to capture their details. And remember those skimming machines? Yes, even those. But again, this episode was inspired because we're seeing it, and I got some data to tell you exactly what's behind it. Because there is some staggering numbers that is showing where the amount of cash in circulation, as per World Bank, has taken a dip. And it's not as much as you think right now. that is in circulation anymore. But before doing so, thanks to Connie. Connie is saying, Auntie Sabrina Turner, community activist, thank you for giving her, meaning Miss Brenda, the time to speak. I think she just released a lot of things that she'd wanted to share a long time. And let me tell you, that's why I love with this space. Oh, yeah, I love it. And this is why the open mic summer edition of Sabrina Speaks continues, because it is taking on a life of its own. And out of respect and out of dignity, and just because you guys are the foundation of it, I will stop mid-sentence and change and adjust our sails to exactly do what I did, accommodating you, the people, because after all, this is our space. Yes, but thank you so much for acknowledging that as well. Yeah, going back to this conversation, what I got in digging for this, there is global evidence why cashless systems are growing. And let me tell you what, it may not have touched us as prominent or as pronounced here in the Cayman Islands yet, or in the Caribbean, but as you all are realizing, it is already here somewhat. But let's tell you why, because there is global evidence to state why. The first one was cash in itself, usage is on a decline. And this is globally. We are expanding out a little bit more. We're just not thinking Cayman, right? We're just looking, because only a matter of time, it's going to make its way, right? According to the world, let me grab this here. According to the World Bank and BIS, Bank for International Settlements. So according to World Bank and BIS, cash usage has dropped over 50% in the last 10 years. In the last decade, cash usage has dropped over 50% in many developed countries. And what they have seen is that in Sweden alone, cash transactions make up less than 10% of all purchases. Okay, so we're just zooming out a little bit, because eventually you're going to see it make its way here. And based on what I'm sharing with you with the topping up of these cards, yes, although it's limited to just those organizations right now, these cards, there could be universal ones at the end of the day, which digitally, stick a pin, they're already in circulation, right? Another statistic number 2 that I found up is that they're finding out where digital payments is also has also surged, because the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, they report that digital payments grew over 65% worldwide. And look how far back this goes. This is dating back between 2019 and 2023. Yes. And guess what caused that? It was accelerated because of COVID-19. Remember, the world was pretty much in lockdown, but yet certain businesses may have given delayed payments, but there were just things that it wasn't giving you a blind. You still got to pay your utilities. You still got to do this, but you couldn't move. So they have seen that accelerated during the pandemic of 2019. And another stat that was found out based on the studies that was done is that business prefers, based on their data and finding, cashless. Now, a 2024 Visa, you got MasterCard and Visa. A 2024 Visa study found out that 41% of small businesses plan to go fully cashless within the next 5 years. Now, that's a study that was put up by, you got MasterCard and you got Visa. That goes back to 2024. And what we're seeing in the Caribbean is that, hello, we're realizing this, but it's already here. The Caribbean is slower, but guess what they have found? They're definitely not stagnant, because they're moving. What they have found out in their research is that Jamaica's digital wallet usage in itself, Jamaica alone, increased to 38% in 2 years. Jamaica, our neighboring country, yes, their digital wallet usage, meaning people subscribing to doing transactions digitally, that increased by 38% in the past 2 years. And what they're noticing as well, our neighbors there, Eastern Caribbean, Barbados, they also have introduced digital transit payments that is actually now being embraced more and more, despite there being apathy, apprehension, some resistance to it because of exactly what we're hearing now. No. This is control. Give me my cash. Let me do what I want. You all just want to control. I do not know their accent, but yeah. But it's the same principle. It's the same reasoning. And as we're saying here, the seniors were also impacted. Therefore, in many cases, having to be dragged out of their homes, had to present in person and to do some stuff, to do transactions, despite them having legal documents and appointing someone to transact business on their own. Also, what we're seeing moving away from Barbados and just looking right here, we're seeing where our banks, our local banks too, is a part of this. Guess what? And banks report year over year increases in tap to pay transactions. So it is already here. So even though we may not have these as in reverse ATMs, reverse ATMs are simply one tool that is supporting this shift. And some of the pros and the benefits from it, but from the side of business emphasis, is that the business sectors are saying efficiency. Because what they have said in all of these research is that cash slows down lines and digital payments move faster. You tap, you go, you're gone. And then they're also saying safety. Because cash, they're seeing, if you have a lot of cash in your business, or people know that you're only transacting business through cash, you don't take debit or credit cards, cash invites theft. And digital payments are found to reduce robbery risks. Now, another thing that they found out is that using more digital footprint is that there is a cost reduction. What do you mean a cost reduction? We heard what Ms. Brenda said, that this whole thing of collecting, for example, US coins, it's the weight. They have to pay to send that back out because it just doesn't stay here, you know. These different currencies that our banks hold here, they have a certain amount that they hold. But a lot of it has to go back to the country of origin. For example, US dollars, pounds, and that sort of stuff. This is why, based on how much currency and cash that is not local currency that you want, let's say you want to do buy certain pounds or whatever, right? The bank advises you, certain banks, all if not, asks you to give them notice because they may not have that amount on hand, which tells you that it does not stay here. And they have to pay duty. Yeah. So you can imagine all of those coins that we're saving up every time we go on holiday. And you know you're guilty. How much of you go on holiday to the US or wherever and you come back and your little change purse is full of US quarters and pennies and dimes and not nickels and dimes? Yeah. And you're like, when the heck would I ever do this? Now, if you're like me, a weirdo, I will hold them until the next time I go back. And if you're in I think Bank of America, I used to have one at the entrance, or even in a Walmart, they would have the coin counters, and you would just go, of course, for a nominal fee, and that will spit out cash for you. I would do that. But what they're saying is, if you're not one of those and you just go to the bank, they have to pay. They have to pay to send that back off. So this is what we are finding out right now. And there is a cost reduction when it comes from the business perspective, because the handling of cash in itself, cash as in dollar bills or coins, counting, security, armored trucks are involved, and staffing additional. And guess what? You think that's it? Insurance. Do you know what the insurance coverage is to protect those people who are moving currency back and forth? Yeah. So, what the data is showing, World Bank and all of their studies and all that sort of stuff, is that these reverse ATM machines are proving to be able to eliminate those costs that are associated with us just transacting everyday transactions in cash. Okay. Also, in their findings, they said that the inclusion for the unbanked. Not everyone, they've realized it, and this may be going into to what some of the things you're pointing out. They are aware that not everyone has a bank account, bottom line. And this is why these types of machines now is just not limited to one particular brand, one particular store, right? Because everyone does not have a bank account, these reverse ATM machines allow people then with only cash to still participate in cashless venues. Yeah. So let's say you go to one of these things and you get this cash to card. Maybe another venue that is cashless will accept this universal card. This is just something to think about if you should ever travel away. Okay. Andrew is weighing in and he's saying, we see Marriott. Yes, look at that. We see Marriott Hotel not using cash. But what happens when the system crashes or hacked? Then they'll go back to the old days where they used to swipe your card and yada, 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 I guess. I don't know. I'm quite sure they will have contingencies for these things so that it will not interrupt the operations, Andrew. But I'm quite sure they would, if they have made that executive decision, I can assure you, they have a contingency plan should everything crashes, that they would still be able to get your details in order then for them to receive payment once the systems are back up and running. So yes, so these, more than likely, these things are going to be quite universal. Because remember, for example, if you bank with a particular bank here and once it has a Visa or a MasterCard logo on it, technically you should be able to use your debit card at any of those banks or credit cards that bears the same logo. However, it comes with a higher fee. Yeah, it comes with a higher fee. That's the only drawback to that, because then you're using like a third-party source, right? The other part of it is accountability as well. And I'm keeping these up here for you to see the different types of machines that we're talking about, just in case you go to one of these things, you can see it for yourself. There is accountability to it. There is accountability because what they're saying is that digital transactions creates records, and then this helps with audits and compliance and fraud prevention. And that is why they're taking this approach. And from the business standpoint, they are in favor of it. So here's a comparison where you got the features, the reverse ATM versus a regular ATM. For the reverse ATM, you insert your cash. What it spits out back to you is a card with the amount of cash value that you put into the machine. It gives you that in return, but on a digital card. And with the prepaid debit cards, you receive a prepaid debit card. At a regular ATM, you get cash. So you may have like what we're talking, right? The store cards. And then for cashless venues, for using them at cashless venues, cash withdrawals. You're able to do cash withdrawals at cashless venues. And who benefits? Unbanked customers, and for regular ATMs, bank customers. So you got the difference between the reverse ATM and the regular ATMs so that you see what each one gives you side by side in comparison. But the control question is what people are concerned about when it comes to the use of these cards. So at the end of the day, there is some balanced truth to it, as even identified Miss Brenda when she called. Because yes, digital systems increase institutional control. They see everything, not in a sinister way. So please don't think it, right? But in a structural way. For you, you may say, well, that's what business is there is how much times I go to the spa, or how much times I visit Burger King, or how much times I eat out versus not. I mean, yeah, every time you swipe that card, they know the merchant number and the vendor number. So yes, they know every swipe that you swipe. When you go to pay the utility bill, these merchant numbers know, and they track your movement, and they see your patterns. But it's not in a sinister way. Because what they're finding out with these digital cards is that digital money now it allows, yeah, you heard it, enforcement of rules, monitoring of spending patterns, and in those tax countries, yes, prevention of tax evasion. Thank God we don't have that to deal with here, at least yet. Hope in my lifetime it'll never be seen, but we just got to be honest. It also helps them to see faster detection for fraud, to really protect your money. You're seeing all the scammers and what we've been faced here for the past 2 weeks. And it also helps them to have real-time financial oversight. Now, that is where people are saying, I can't have anybody just having so much visuals over my money. Well, let me just wake you up. Yeah, you may have earned your money, but none of us owns that money. Unless you got one of the Rothschilds' bloodstream in your DNA, we don't own it. The money is not ours. Go dig it up if you think I'm not telling the truth. We don't own it. Yeah, we earn it, but it's not ours. It's really not ours. Another thing is that cash is anonymous and digital money is not. So if you want to hide something, deal with it in cash. Once it's a digital footprint, it stays there. And there is evidence of control trends. So you're not, that feeling that you have in your stomach is not fake. It's not that you're not feeling something. You're hitting it on the head, because the EU is developing a digital euro. Yes. And they are rolling out like that. And China's digital yuan allows programmable money. Yeah. And they admit they're tracking everything. China. They admit it. They're tracking everything. So what we're seeing in the great United States of America is that the US Federal Reserve now is testing what they call Fed Now, FED Now, which is instant payments. So over 130 countries right now are exploring digital currencies. And that is based on the IMF report of 2024. And we're seeing already many stadiums and airports that are, and restaurants alike. You're in the UK, you know, I've experienced that. Don't waste your time buying pounds. Yeah, a couple currency if you want to do a little tip here, a little tip there, whatever. But don't waste your time going by pounds if you're going to the UK. It's a joke. They're not taking cash. No, they're not. So this reverse ATMs are a part of this whole ecosystem from the business sector's perspective. And what they're saying is that they don't create control. What the business sector is saying is that it enables them in their environment, where control then, mind you, it sounds like they're talking from both sides of their mouth. Control is still easier. They're still saying they don't create control, but control is easier. So what is it? You see, you're like, oh my God, Sabrina talking foolishness. 1 minute is not, the next minute is, I'm just giving you the results. And I think most of you are exactly where I am with this. It's only a matter of time. And yes, it's not that the results have found that the Caribbean region here is a little bit slower at moving, but there is blatant evidence between Jamaica, Barbados, and you have seen right here where we're headed in that direction. So Andrew is saying, remember when we had them American Express slips and you had to place the card, then swipe and call the 1-800 number to get approval? Longer time per transaction. And today we have a much faster and convenient system. You're quite right. And I think if anything like that with what you've described for Marriott happens, more than likely they will revert back to that. I have seen some of the businesses here still actually have that machine where they put the carbon copy paper under it. Yeah, it's not as prevalent, but it's still an option. It is still there to be used. Andrew is saying you don't need a card to purchase in some places. WeChat and other apps enable you to travel, purchase, make payments for every type of service. You're quite right. Sometimes you just turn your phone face over and there's a QR code or something there. You don't even need the numbers. I have seen all of these touchless payments and you just turn your phone and all of that. But there are risks, to be honest with you. There are some risks because as we are feeling it, and I feel it myself, there is a loss of privacy because cash is private. Digital money is not. Because every time you swipe that card, that is a data point and it's telling you what you're swiping your card for and where that money is going. And it actually paints a picture of your lifestyle as well. What it's also doing is creating a dependency on technology. Because if the system goes down, as Andrew is alluding to, payments can stop or slow down. And we saw this during outages the other day in Canada where they had a glitch and also in the UK. And every now and again, you would see certain things where I think Home Depot had a big one where there was a huge breach and there was a hospital as well that had where data, they were breached, right? And there is an exclusion part of it because people without phones, cards, or digital literacy can be left behind. And this is exactly what we're all talking about here, that no one should be left behind. And we're not saying that you're not going to eventually be here, but please make sure at your pace that no one is left behind and that everybody, as we go into this digital era, is treated with dignity and respect. And at some point in time, should be left with the option of choice and not mandatory. But what happens when a business place has a choice? Then what? Then what? You know? When we talk about the fees, then some prepaid cards have activation fees. Again, that's more of your money coming out. Dormancy fees as well. And transaction fees. They will limit how much transactions you do or don't do. And this is why setting these forecasts for even businesses and so forth, they're asking how much transactions do you anticipate having for a month or whatever the case may be. Danny is ringing in the back of my mind right now. He's been blowing this horn as loud as you could think about it, but nobody was understanding. And little bit by little bit, every time certain topics come up here, I will call his name so that you could try to go back in your memory bank and say, well, yeah, Dana was saying something about this. Okay, I'm just putting context because I can't be speaking at a Harvard level if we're just now understanding it. Not that I'm saying we are illiterate by any means. Not all the time people are ready for a particular subject. Everything takes time. And we will have to probably bring this up again. And repetition is key. And this is why when I see things like this, I take the time, as boring sometimes as you think I could be. I'm no teacher, I'm no professor, but I try to be as unbiased, as clear as I can be, and only use information that is from trusted sources when I actually share it with you. And I break it down as layman as possible, which is sometimes I sound repetitive because at different points you could be jumping on the live and you only hear a last statement or the last sentence that I make, or you may hear me reading a comment and you don't connect the dots. So sometimes repetition in this case is invaluable. And that's why I will continue to do it here. And people do come to me after the fact and say, thank you for taking the time. I logged on late, but I went back afterwards. So yeah, when we're talking about this cashless society, there are fees on top fees. And guess what? If your money is already within that institution, they're going to tap into what's in there and they're going to collect those fees for overuse or underuse. So where is the middle ground? Where is the middle ground? Some of you may be asking. Wake Up Cayman is with us today and says it's 50-50 in the UK. Some shops prefer cash and will only take card if the amount is over £5. Yep. Damien is saying systematic control. That is what they are pushing, tracking every time you make a transaction. Miss Brenda is also weighing in. When someone swipes your phone, you've lost everything. And Brenda is also saying the system also eliminates jobs for many people. There was somewhere I saw, now that you talk about that, there was some business I saw in the States the other day where, is it Dollar Tree? I'm going to try to find it, that they were introducing cashless, and the amount of cashiers that were losing their jobs. This is just this week. I got to start grabbing these things. They were, and it's a brand, it's a name that we know, but whatever it is that you're used to. Example, let's say it's a Home Depot, but like a lot of them now are switching out from the cashiers that help you at the checkout to do it yourself, or based on wherever you are, you just go to these kiosks and you can pay in the department as long as that's all you want, whatever the case may be. But it's all pretty much self-checkout. So very interesting. But we're seeing where, slowly but surely, where jobs are concerned, a lot of those who depend on additional income for checkouts and stuff, cashiers, are becoming obsolete. We're seeing that even in the banks. They're preferring you to go to the ATM, be it inside or exterior, and do deposits. I was in one today and I saw where they had the infomercial on a digital screen as you were standing in line. And they were telling you how to use the ATM machine if you're depositing a check versus if you're depositing cash. And you weren't hearing anything, but it's amazing how that was taking up your time there while you were waiting in line. And if you're like, oh my God, no, there's only 3 people and there are 8 windows. Why am I standing here in line? And then all of a sudden, I tell you, marketing is something, the screen just loomed up. You can do your cash deposits at an ATM. And it shows you. And I was like, oh my God, they're pushing you to go do it yourself. So yeah, you either deal with it or you go to the ATM, be it inside the bank and all that sort of stuff. But some of us just loves to deal with the teller versus doing it at the machine. But that was interesting today because I stood in line long time in it, because 99% of everything I do is online. Yep. But I just found myself there today. And I smiled. I said, you idiot, you could have done this from the ATM. I stood there, pride. Oh God, pride. Damien is saying it tracks what you buy and tailored your adverts to your social media and smart devices. Yeah. My aunt and I were speaking the other night and we were talking about something. She said, look here, something was we were talking about. Like, let's say shampoos. And all of a sudden, the particular brand of shampoo showed up on her phone when she was scrolling through, when she opened her phone and was scrolling. And the same thing we were talking about the other night came up on her phone. I said, yes, yeah, they are listening. Wake Up is weighing in and they're saying in the UK, we have to be careful with the tap and go. Some vendors will overcharge you with the handheld tap and go because they notice people don't stop to check. You see, there we go. Yeah. Miss Brenda is agreeing that Walmart is like that, where it's pretty much expanding out. You check out for yourself. And I remember here in another episode that I was saying, I watched something where there are carts now. They're carts with barcode scanners. So everything you put in your cart, it has a screen on the handle. As you put stuff in the cart, even if you throw a toothbrush or something in it, whatever it is, it scans the item as you put it in your cart. And by the time you get to the cash out, you already know the total of your bill. You're just running it connects to the kiosk that you're at. You swipe your card, or if you're paying by cash, and that's it. And you go out. Yeah. So these carts are designed right now to actually help you check out as you shop. And guess what? It even has a scale. Yeah, it has a scale. So everything are coming with barcodes now. And there's another store as well that they're changing price tags. They're no longer paper. They're all digital. So the price that you're seeing on the shelves are now digitized. So they can change the price. And that's another conversation. By the time you get to the checkout, maybe if there's a price change, bang, bang. Yeah. So that is how quickly tech is moving. And some people argue that there's government overreach concerns because some people fear that this digital money could allow spending limits, automatic taxation in those countries that pay taxes, frozen of accounts, and behavioral monitoring. And these is the biggest, that's where a lot of the conversation is coming. These concerns are not imaginary. Some people have lived through this. They are debated in policies and circles right now that is taking place in real time around the world. So it has to be a reality that it is. Yes. But at the end of the day, awareness matters, and bringing this to your attention is paramount for me to do. But yes, we have run out of time here today. It's 7:03 here on the Sabrina Speaks, and I'm hoping that you were again enlightened, informed, and put a spotlight on what life could look like for us in the future and what is already shaping up to be. But yes, it has brought me to the end of this episode of Sabrina Speaks as I usher in the weekend. I want to thank all of you for joining us, joining me, and by extension, all of you who were with me from the beginning and those who jumped on even after the fact. Thank you so much. Thank you for the caller. Thank you, Damien. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Thank you, Connie, Bonnie, everybody, Damien, Andrew, everybody, even those who didn't comment. Yeah, Barbara G. Yeah, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being our rock. Thank you for showing up, Donnie, Damien, the other Damien, everybody, your content creators in bloom. It has been a pleasure. Please be safe on the roads. If you're going out tonight, be safe on the road, be responsible, and God's richest blessings on all of you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you no matter what. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Good night. Stay blessed. Love you lots. Until Monday, take care of yourself.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.